What's happening, YouTube? It's your boy Chris, aka DreamOvDeath, back again with some motherfucking video game action. This morning, we're going to be playing a couple of matches of Magic the Gathering Arena just to wake me up on this fine Tuesday morning. And then I'm going to say fuck you guys and go cut my grass for probably about an hour and weed whack and edge. And then, yeah, I'm going to take my kids to the park. And then this evening we'll be back for some more fun. Rocket League with me and Toussainte this evening at 7. But for now, let's get into it. I'm going to play a match real quick of regular standard with my Scoot and Shoot deck and see where that goes from there.
Hey, Bubba. No, not right now. We can take it back later, okay? Why don't you go play with your plushies and Caleb, okay? Because Daddy's recording right now, so you can't play in here.
Sorry, YouTube. Give me a minute. My wife is being fucking needy. Yes, tonight. Damn it, now I gotta put my freaking music on my television. And I don't like having the sound coming from in front of me. I prefer it coming from behind me. Angelica, if you decide to watch the stream at some point, you suck ass. I just want you to know that. You suck ass for taking my speaker. I don't like to share. I know sharing is caring, but fuck you. And I am in the mood for some raunchy fucking slam death. So let's get some ingested. Some raunchy slam and death. Penance. Okay. First move, Shambling Ghast. Oops. Monk of the Open Hand, okay. It's a +1 counter. Anytime you put a +1 counter, they get a +1 counter. That's a good card. It's not an amazing card, but it's a good card. We will not. No damage. No damage on that. This would be a wonderful fucking hand if I had some fucking mana. Fuck you, Loopy. Piece of shit. Fucking Lala Loopy. Some fucking kablam shit, you motherfucker. Fuck you. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're a coont. Live you, bro. That's funny. His heart dirk, at least. You give him a major heart on. Oh well. So punny. Fuck this dude and everything he stands for. He's a biatch. A biatch. This man is a biatch. A big old fucking biatch. Go ahead, kill it. Go ahead and fucking kill it. We already know you want to, Chevy Rider, you fucking weirdo. Anybody who brags about driving a Chevy is a fucking loser. Probably drive a fucking Cummings. Probably have wet dreams about Fords. While you're making fun of people driving Fords, secretly you want to own a Ford. That way they'll slide their super erect penis right down your rectum hole. That is the whole reason that you enjoy Chevys, Chevy Rider. It's because secretly you like butt stuff. You like butt stuff from Ford drivers. You're just trying to let us know. That's why your gamer tag is ridiculous. Okay, let's go ahead and revive. And we're going to go ahead and revive the Nectar Pot, and we're going to revive the Cabretti. That way we can gain some fucking life from this retard. And then we're going to go ahead and throw down that Cabretti, because we don't even need the excess life that summoning the Nectar Pot would bring. We only want the manas on the land right now, because the next turn we're going to play Boziju, and then we're going to play Power Word Kill. And then, pretty much, he can go fuck himself from there. He can counter whatever he wants after that. I don't give a shit, because as soon as he summons creatures, I'm going to kill all of them. Every single fucking one of the creatures that he is going to attempt to summon in the next couple of turns, I'm going to fuck up. Like, royally. Don't even give a shit. And we will discard Toxic Scorpion, because fuck it. dragon. Guess we can't power word kill that. We'll do Cabredi's Courtyard. Funny, I accidentally put Dungeon Crawler in here the other night, and he's just been popping up, so I've just been using him. But this is definitely not a zombie deck, and I need to take that card out after this match. I'm going to do that, because it really serves absolutely no purpose in this deck whatsoever, other than being a 1-mana creature summon that I can easily kill if I need to get a creature out of my graveyard. It's basically just something that I use as cannon fodder. In a placeholder right now. Because, like, I only have one other creature that is a single mana pull, and that's the Shambling Gas and the death thingy, the little fucking death touch fucking tree elf. That motherfucker. The Zandu some shit. I can't remember its name. Okay. Fuck a duck. Fuck a duck. I am tired. What a game. What a fucking game. Oh, it was so fun. I've never had so much fun playing Magic before. My gosh. Let's go ahead and swap that one for something else. Let's go ahead and also... nope, can't swap that one. 20 white or green. Perfect. No! Cancel, 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 cancel. I need to get rid of that fucking... that Dungeon Crawler. That Dungeon Crawler is the most useless fucking card in this deck. I will say the one thing that I don't have enough of in this deck is flying creatures. So I should I should do something about that, shouldn't I? Let's go ahead and go creature, planeswalker, instant, sorcery, enchantment, artifact. And we're going to go okay. Swamp, forest. And then to make this fucking fun, let's see what standard cards we can add that I don't have yet. Let's see what standard cards we could add that I don't fucking have yet. And truthfully, I would prefer them to be dual colored cards, just because the dual color cards tend to be really fun in the sun. And that's my shit right there. So we're gonna go search it up and see if we don't have some more blue colored or dual. This Treefolk Spirit is definitely a card that I've been thinking about doing, because when Willowgeist dies, you gain life equal to its powers. So if I get cards that buff the shit out of this, that'd be a nice card to pull. But I gotta constantly be reviving things from my graveyard in order to make it like a really effective card for this deck. And I only have 4 revive cards that I use regularly, so it's just not as practical as you would think. We'll go ahead and we will craft that. We will go ahead and add that after this. We'll also not do that, but add that. We're going to add one of those. And then we need to get to the dual colored Treefolk Druid. Trample. This is going to throw the balance off just a little bit. Where is Old Rusty now? I need him. Old Rusty enters the battlefield, or at the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. If a land was milled this way, create a treasure token. If a creature card is milled this way, create a 1/1 green exile creature. If a non-creature card, non-land card is milled this way, create a blood token. Yes, please. We are going to add 1, 2 of you, and then we need Old fucking Stick Fingers. Where's Old Stick Fingers fucking at? Beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. When you sacrifice Demagogue, Woe Eater, each opponent discards a card. You draw a card and you gain 2 life. That's a demon. Maybe. We'll think about it. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Add blank or blank each permanent for each permanent destroyed this way. Okay. That is a must-have card. Culling Ritual. Culling Ritual. this is going to be a 150 card deck, and we still don't have old stick fingers, do we? Speaking of that grimy bastard, where the fuck is he at? Where old stick fingers go? There he is. Old stick fingers. When you cast this spell, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X creature cards. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your graveyard. Then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Old stick fingers' power and toughness are each equal to the number of creature cards in your group. Yes. You are going immediately into this deck, and you are going to play as a late game card. Late game horror card. And then we're going to add 2 more forests, but we're going to change the forest layout, because I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of that. I want a card style forest. I know people really like the borderless, like full art movie, like the cards that look like they're moving in this game, but they cost so much more money. Like, why would you want to spend that much more on a card that you could literally get for like half that? I wish Old Stick Fingers was a Planeswalker instead of a legendary creature, because I would love to have him as an avatar. But hey, it is what it is. 'Tis what it is, until it ain't what it is, and then it's not what it be, and then it be what it ain't. So yeah, make that make sense. Yes, I've always wanted that card, and it's one of my favorites, so we are gonna get it. And we are also gonna get, if it's cheap, we're gonna get a couple packs after we finish that. You know what, just to own up to making this deck look menacing to people, and to make so they have absolutely no idea what kind of deck this is, we'll use Tasha the Witch Bitch. Yeah, we'll use Tasha the Witch Bitch. We will do we'll do the base dragon pet. Nope, you know what? No pet. That way they think I'm like a fucking freshie. Like a fresho noobo. A nooberoony. And then we will use... I really like Noob Party shit. Save and exit. after I do my yard work, because I stayed up until 6 this morning. I don't know why I hate my body so much, but apparently I do. I'm a goofy gumdrop gumball boy.
Here I am. This video was sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Hi everyone, I'm Nissa Genesis, and today is Monday, and that means it's time for the 488th MTG Top 10, the series where I rank cards based on their historical performance at Magic's highest level of competition. At least, that's normally what I do in this series. Sometimes, I like to look at cards on the other end of the spectrum, the absolute worst Magic cards of all time, and that's what we're doing today with a look at the worst Planeswalker cards ever. This is a topic I originally covered way back in 2016 in the 32nd MTG Top 10, but that list is deeply flawed, mostly because at the time I was only using data from Magic's competitive formats to make the list, and not really considering EDH at all. That top 10 is one of my most viewed videos ever, and it's also the video I've made with the largest percentage of dislikes ever, and that makes a lot of sense. There are several cards on that list that have no business being there at all as a result of my flawed methodology back then. So, I've been interested in revisiting this topic for a while so that I can more accurately discuss the worst Planeswalkers of all time. There have obviously also been a whole lot of Planeswalkers printed since 2016, so this list is very different from that one. Generally speaking, of course, Planeswalkers are quite powerful. Arguably the most powerful card type in this entire game. This is because Planeswalkers can come down and use one of their loyalty abilities right away, and then on subsequent turns they can use one of those loyalty abilities for more and more value, and you don't even have to pay additional mana on those later turns. This can allow them to really snowball and take over games, especially because many of them have game-ending ultimate abilities. However, there are definitely some awful Planeswalkers out there. The type alone is not quite enough to make a card really good, because if you make a Planeswalker that's overcosted or give it underpowered abilities, it doesn't really matter that it can use those abilities every turn. While this type of list is not data-driven the same way my lists about the best cards are, there are a couple of requirements that cards on the list have to meet to be considered for it. In particular, they can't be widely played in EDH, and they can't ever have top-8'd a significant Magic event. I use EDH Rec for the EDH side of things since it has a database of almost 700,000 decks. In the end though, the cards on this list and where they appear on it are based on my opinion. One thing to keep in mind with this list is that these cards are bad relative to other Planeswalkers. Because Planeswalkers are inherently cards that add to the board and use an ability every turn, it's hard for cards on this list to be quite as awful as some of the cards we've seen on other worse lists. For that reason, the cards on this list see significantly more play in EDH than most cards on worse lists do. But yeah, the cards in this list certainly are awful when compared to other Planeswalkers. Before we jump into the list, let me tell you about this video's special sponsor, Into the AM. I've been working with them for a while now, and they've been a really great sponsor. They're an apparel company that produces a whole bunch of great stuff, including graphic tees, like the one I'm wearing now. This one is called Adventure Pack, and it features a pretty cool image of a backpack or satchel that contains a wilderness landscape within it. If you like this tee or want to check out even more of them, go check out their store. Use my special link from the description to get 10% off. Alright, let's dive into the list. At number 10, I have Jace, the Living Guild Pact. There are only 2 holdovers from the 2016 list, and this is one of them. This Jace just does very, very little. The big problem is that neither of his main abilities actually give you a card in any way. His +1 improves your card quality and maybe puts something in your graveyard that you want there, and his -3 simply bounces a non-land permanent. That does mean he can do something to the board right away, but he has to lower his loyalty to 2 to do it. And because the card only gets bounced, you're just getting a tiny bit of tempo, and even then, you may not be getting much. Basically, he doesn't do a good job of protecting himself or building you a significant advantage. And even if you do get to his ultimate, it isn't the kind that can win you the game from behind or anything like that. Sure, you're going to win in a few turns because you have way more cards than your opponent, but if the board state isn't already favorable, you might just be dead before it matters. At number 9, I have Tybalt, the Fiend-Blooded. Another holdover from the 2016 list. I actually had a holdover from one last time, so things have actually gotten better for him over the last several years. He's still pretty awful, though. It's neat that he's a 2-mana Planeswalker, and for a long time he was the only one, but like Jace the Living Guild Pact, he just doesn't have abilities that allow you to build any real advantage. He starts with super low loyalty of 2, which says to me they were a little worried about printing a 2-mana Planeswalker. And the same could be said about his awful abilities. It's nice that his +1 loots, but the fact that the discard is random really limits how effective Tybalt can be, since the best thing you can get out of looting is taking advantage of the card you discard, and he lowers your chances of that ever happening because you don't get to choose to discard your card with Madness or Flashback or whatever. He also has a -4 that isn't even close to worth the loyalty, since most opponents aren't going to have enough cards in hand to make it worth it. His ultimate can definitely win the game on the spot, but good luck ever getting his loyalty to 6 when he starts at 2 and has absolutely no good way to protect himself. At number 8, I have Sorin, Vampire Lord. One of the big changes to the pool of Planeswalker cards since I made that 2016 list is Planeswalker Deck Planeswalkers. Planeswalker decks were a product that existed between 2017 and 2020, and they were intended as introductory products for new players. They were pre-constructed decks that featured a central Planeswalker card. These Planeswalkers are intentionally powered down so that they play well against other Planeswalker decks, but they aren't so good otherwise. They tend to be overcosted for what they do and often have underwhelming abilities. As you might imagine, the remaining cards on this list are all from those decks. This makes it a truly remarkable achievement that both Tybalt the Fiend-Blooded and Jace the Living Guild Pact made this list, since there are more than enough Planeswalker Deck Planeswalkers to fill up this list, but I actually think those 2 cards are worse than all but the 8 Planeswalker Deck Planeswalkers who did make this list. Anyway, the first of these we're looking at is Sorin Vampire Lord. He costs a whopping 6 mana and only has 4 starting loyalty. His ability that allows him to raise his loyalty by 1 is really unimpressive, as he simply gives +2/+0 to a single creature. That's right, no keyword ability or anything. His -2 is certainly more impressive, as it allows him to do 4 to something and you gain 4 life, but the fact that he goes down to 2 loyalty to do that right away is pretty rough. Even if he does manage to kill 1 creature, he's probably going to go down after that, and you expect a lot more than that out of your 6 mana investment. He does have a kind of cool Vampire Tribal ultimate that lets you make all your vampires mind control opposing creatures, but that's still an ultimate that is asking you to have some sort of board state to do something in the first place, and a pretty specific board state at that, and that's just not going to always work out. Despite the popularity of the vampire creature type, Sorin is barely played in EDH, and the reasons why are obvious. At number 7, I have Nissa, Genesis Mage. She costs 7 mana, and she doesn't do anything to permanently add to the board.
Yes, she does.
She certainly doesn't get anywhere close to delivering on what you'd expect from a 7 mana card. Her +2 lets you untap 2 lands and 2 creatures. This at least can allow you to protect her, provided you have the bodies to do so, and it also lets her ramp a bit, at least on future turns. The ability that really sinks this Planeswalker, though, is her -3, which just gives a single creature +5/+5 until end of turn. I mean, yeah, that's a big boost, but it doesn't do anything to protect her or change the board in any real way, and that's a lot of loyalty to lose. That ability might give you 1 really good attack, but that's pretty much it. She does have a reasonably impressive ultimate, especially when compared to some of the ultimates that we're going to see on this list, but I just can't get over this Nissa costing so much mana and still being a very easily beatable Planeswalker. At number 6, I have Jace, Arcane Strategist. For 6 mana, you get a 4 loyalty Planeswalker who only has 2 abilities. He does come with a static ability, and it's one that synergizes with his +1, but it's still not enough. Yes, he does make sure you draw a second card on the turns when he is in play, but the payoff for that is simply that you put a +1/+1 counter on a single creature. He tops this all off with a -7 that can't win you the game often enough. Sure, making your whole board unblockable is sweet, and theoretically, he has buffed your board some, but you have to have lethal damage ready to go, and you just won't always be able to set that up unless your opponent hasn't been doing anything at all to hinder your progress, and that's way too much to ask for. At number 5, I have Garruk, Savage Herald, another 6-mana Planeswalker who really fails to deliver. He has a +1 that is conditional card draw, and a -2 that is only useful if you have a creature big enough to take down an opposing creature. That makes it pretty darn narrow, and means you won't always be able to deal with your opponent's most problematic threat, which also means that Garruk is probably going down. Then, like most of those on this list, he has an ultimate that asks you to already be decently far ahead on the board for it to do anything. This isn't a Planeswalker that's going to help you win a game you might have lost. It's a Planeswalker who can help you build an already sizable advantage, and that's just not what you expect from most walkers. At number 4, I have Rowan, Fearless Spark Mage. She has the lowest mana value of any card on this list, but she's still pretty bad. Partly because she costs 5 mana and has abilities that indicate she wants to be played in an aggro deck. Her +1 can certainly make a creature into a way better attacker, and her -2 can pick off a couple of small creatures while also making them unable to block, but at her cost, she isn't going to do enough to propel an aggro deck to a win. Meanwhile, if you're not in an aggro deck, she's just terrible, even with an ultimate that gives you control of all creatures. At number 3, I have Liliana, Death Wielder. She is the most widely played in EDH of all the Planeswalkers that made this list, but I think that's mostly because people are desperate for -1/-1 counter stuff, so some people are stooping to playing the Death Wielder in commander decks that care about that kind of thing, and that's pretty sad because she's awful. Like Nissa Genesis Mage, she costs 7, but feels more like a Planeswalker you'd pay about 4 mana for. The turn you play her, her impact on the board will typically be quite small, as she'll just put a -1/-1 counter on one creature. The very next turn she can straight up remove a creature, but the turn of setup is pretty rough. Obviously, she does get better in a deck that puts -1/-1 counters on stuff, but a 7-mana Planeswalker should not be asking you for this amount of setup to simply remove a creature. And her ultimate isn't even that impressive. If I have to get to 10 loyalty to use an ultimate, it better do something awesome. And while reanimating your whole graveyard is pretty cool, it really feels like it should probably also reanimate your opponent's graveyard too. At number 2, I have Teferi, Timeless Voyager. For 6 mana, you get a 4 loyalty Planeswalker with 3 really underwhelming abilities. I mean, raising loyalty to draw a card isn't a bad deal, but it also doesn't do anything to help Teferi stick around. His -3 is a little bit better than that, since he time-ebs something, and that is a real 1-for-1, albeit the worst form of 1-for-1 removal there is, since your opponent will get back whatever it is you put on top of their library. And if you're behind on board and you have to use that right away, that also means you're lowering his loyalty to 1, which means he will be very easy to finish off. He also has a really weak ultimate. Sure, it's cool that he gets to phase out all of your opponent's creatures, but for the amount of loyalty you're paying, you'd think it would do something.
The Pokemon trading card.
Let's do our thing.
Stephen Strange. The Illuminati will see you now.
Why? Oh, that's something.
The biggest ride of the summer is now streaming on Disney+.
We will see what kind of Doctor Strange you are.
You're welcome.
Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange, now streaming on Disney+.
I think we should explore a few solutions.
Grammarly ensures your writing conveys confidence, so every message you send makes an excellent impression.
Let's explore a few solutions.
It works where you do your most important writing in Gmail, Microsoft Word, Google Docs, and more. Go to Grammarly.com and click the green button to download. With a few more quick steps, you'll start getting writing suggestions as you type. Download Grammarly for free today.
I'm dark and brooding. Honk honk. You're welcome, YouTube. Some Nagy family comedy early this morning.
This
Or this
video is
afternoon,
sponsored by
whatever you wanna
Card
call it.
Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Hi everyone, I'm Nissa Genesis, and today is Friday, and that means it's time for this 487th edition of MTG Top 10, the series where I rank cards based on their historical performance at Magic's highest level of competition. In today's video, we've got quite the powerful list as we'll be taking a look at the game's best 1-mana removal spells. Every single card on this list has 100 or more points, and the top 4 all have more than 300. The idea for this video came from a viewer, so thanks to Vive Canada for the idea. Removal is an important part of Magic. Control decks and combo decks need to be able to deal with threats so that they can reach the mid to late game and take the game over, and aggro decks need removal to get blockers out of the way so they can do damage as quickly as possible. 1-mana removal is particularly attractive to all of these kinds of decks, since you can often do more with your turn than just remove a creature if you're only paying a single mana to do so. You can even end up spending only 1 mana to kill something significantly more expensive, which feels really great. To be eligible for this list, a card had to be a form of removal that could deal with creatures, and it had to have a mana value of 1 mana. This could be a spell that exiles a creature, bounces a creature, damages a creature, gives it -X/-X, or outright destroys a creature. I excluded cards that were largely sideboard cards like the Elemental Blasts. I felt like those types of color hosers weren't capable of removing enough creatures in enough situations to be considered for this list. So in the end, there were over 250 cards eligible for this list, and in this video we'll take a look at the 10 that have left the biggest impact on competitive Magic. Before we get started, here's a quick reminder on how I score cards in these videos. A first tier top 8 is worth 2 points. This includes events like Pro Tours and World Championships. And a second tier top 8 is worth 1 point, and this includes events like Grand Prix and Magic Online challenges. Alright, let's get to our list. At number 10, it is Chain Lightning. While it's often overshadowed by its big brother, Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning is a powerful removal spell in its own right. Sure, it's not an instant, but 1 mana for 3 damage to any target is quite impressive, even at sorcery speed. It also has the additional interesting effect that your opponent can pay mana to cast their own Chain Lightning, but if they do that, you also get another chance to pay for it. And chances are good that if you're the one who played Chain Lightning, you're going to be able to take advantage of it, so your opponent doesn't usually want to copy it anyway. Many opponents don't even have red mana to begin with, so it tends to work out well. It was played at Magic's very first major competitive event, the 1994 World Championship, where it appeared in 2 different decks that finished in the top 8. It has also found significant success in Legacy, where it's been played in aggro and tempo decks like Burn, Zoo, Canadian Threshold, and Delver. It has also greatly benefited from Pauper becoming an officially sanctioned format because it's an incredibly powerful common, one that regularly appears in burn decks in that format. While it is still seeing some play, it does feel like Unholy Heat is destined to be on this list in the near future, and Chain Lightning is likely to be the card it overtakes first. At number 9, it is Lightning Axe. This 1-mana removal spell can do 5 damage for only a single mana, which is enough to kill most creatures. Now, you do have to discard a card when you cast it in order to get that great rate, otherwise you actually pay 6 mana, but the good news is there are lots of decks that can turn that discard into upside, and when you can do that, Lightning Axe is a pretty impressive removal spell. It found a little bit of success in Standard where it was paired with cards with madness like Fiery Temper, but it has been the most successful by far in Modern, where it can enable graveyard decks by putting a reanimation target or a card with Dredge in the graveyard, while simultaneously dealing with an opposing threat. It has also been used in Modern, Historic, and Pioneer Arclight Phoenix decks where it's a great fit because it's a cheap instant that can put the Phoenix in your graveyard before you reanimate it later in that very same turn. It's likely to continue to gain points. At number 8, it is Galvanic Blast, our 3rd consecutive red 1-mana removal spell. While it starts out as a worse version of Lightning Bolt since you pay 1 mana to do 2 damage to anything, if you get Metalcraft going, it is more powerful than Lightning Bolt, doing 4 damage to its target. There have been a lot of artifact-heavy decks over the years that have been able to use this at full power without too much trouble. The block and Standard formats it was a part of had a ton of artifacts, with many decks having an artifact theme or sub-theme, so it saw play in a wide range of decks, including Grixis Control, Wolf Run Titan, and Red Deck Wins. It's been the most successful in Modern, where it's gained a ton of points in Affinity decks, and more recently, Urza decks. It's going to keep on gaining points, especially in Modern. At number 7, it is Magma Spray. This 1-mana instant lets you do 2 damage to a creature, and if that creature dies, it gets exiled. That last part is pretty important, since it shuts down creatures with death triggers while also stopping any sort of graveyard recursion in general. In a vacuum, Magma Spray is certainly the weakest card on this list, but it's been printed so many times and been a fixture in Standard so many times that it manages to make it anyway. In its heyday, it even saw some play in Modern. These days, there is actually the strictly better Flame Blessed Bolt, which can also hit Planeswalkers, and because of that, it's unlikely Magma Spray will ever see play again in any format unless it's reprinted in Standard again. Ultimately, it looks like it will fall off of this list. At number 6, it is Shock, yet another red 1-mana removal spell. It shouldn't be too surprising we're seeing so many of these on the list, as red really is the king of cheap removal. However, if you're tired of seeing them, I have good news. The top 5 of this list only contains 1 red spell. Anyway, Shock is pretty simple. It's 1 mana to do 2 damage to anything. While it's another card that pales in comparison to the iconic Lightning Bolt, it has been pretty successful in formats where the Bolt isn't legal, and that's been a whole lot of Standard formats for a 20-year period between about 1998 and 2020. During that span, it was sort of the typical red 1-mana burn spell in Standard, and it was constantly reprinted. It has been reprinted as recently as 2020, and I don't think it's out of the question it gets another reprint in the future, which could allow it to stay on this list for a while, though cards with multi-format track records will ultimately overtake it, including Galvanic Blast, which is basically Shock with upside. At number 5, it is Fatal Push, the first non-red 1-mana removal spell we've seen. The push can always kill a card with a mana value of 2 or less, and if you can get Revolt going, which you can do by having a permanent leave the battlefield during your turn, it can take down creatures with a mana value of 4 or less. That is quite the deal, and it basically means you're always going to be breaking even or better on mana when you cast this removal spell. It isn't that hard to get Revolt going either, since something as simple as sacrificing a fetch land can turn it on. In a lot of formats, it is just capable of killing every single creature in the format that isn't a massive creature that's cheated into play, and that's really impressive. As a result, it has seen play in every format it's legal in and is pretty close to being a staple in many of them. This is especially true in Modern, where you can expect to see at least one deck in the top 8 of basically every single event running some Fatal Pushes. That's what allows it to be number 5 on this list, despite being relatively new compared to many of the cards that are lower than it is on the list. It's going to keep putting up points at a pretty impressive clip, but that's also true of every single card in front of it, and the cards in front of it all have more than 300 points too, like our number 4, which is Path to Exile. For only a single white mana, Path to Exile can, well, exile a creature. Of course, the path does come with a downside, otherwise it would just be insane. Your opponent gets to search up a basic land and put it into play tapped, and yeah, potentially fixing your opponent's mana and ramping them at the same time can be a little dangerous, but it is often well worth it for efficiently dealing with any creature. You can also be careful to minimize the downside, like waiting until your opponent's turn to cast it so they don't get the land untapped right away. It's been played in every format it's ever been legal in, but like Fatal Push, it has done the most work in Modern, where it's a staple. One of the sweetest things you can do with it in Modern or Legacy is play it in a deck like Hate Bear or Death and Taxes, where you can get something like Aven Mind Sensor or Leonin Arbiter and...
Yeah, I just broke the fucking game. It's lagging so bad it can't even catch up. It can't even fucking catch up to how many Scute Swarms I just summoned. I just summoned over 200. Over 200 Scute Swarms at one time. No, double that. Holy fucking shit. Holy shit, Angelica. I just summoned in one turn over I summoned over 600 creatures.
Oh my god.
Bro, I broke the game. I bet the game is going to crash because it can't handle how much I'm doing to it right now.
Oh my god.
Yo, this is so fucking grimy. Yo, this is so fucking grimy. Yo, I am grimy as fuck. Look at this. I broke Magic. I just summoned over 2,000 creatures in a single turn. I just broke the game. It's still registering 1 mana pull on a single turn, and in that single turn I summoned over 2,000 creatures.
That's pretty cool, dude. That's like a lime green. Look at the wood. Different colored. On his tablet, it's not having color painted.
Oh yeah, that's super lime green. That looks really cool. If that was,
I like it.
if that was a Rocket League car, Evra, I would play with it. I'm just saying, if that car was in Rocket League, I would use it all the time.
Rocket League card. That is true.
Bro.
Yeah, I would.
Bro, I just did it again. I just put another mana card into the field and broke the game a second time. It's about to summon another... Let's see.
What is the point of doing that?
Because it every time you put down a mana card or a land card, when you have a Skewed Swarm on the field and you already have 6 mana on the field, what it does is it creates a copy of the copy. So it feels like every time you copy that card, it makes twice as many copies as you already had. So if you start...
I understand that. I'm just saying, like, why would you... I mean,
Just
what's the point of having 2,000 enemies? Because I don't feel like you would actually need that to win.
just to fuck up people's like minds, just to be like, damn, this dude just fucked me hard with a ribbed dildo, no lube. Like, cause this dude literally thought he was gonna win the match. He got me down to 3 life. And he was at 20. And then I summoned over 100 creatures in one turn, and then it was game over for him. He couldn't do anything. What?
That's crazy, though.
What did you say? I didn't hear what you said. I was coughing.
I said that is crazy. The amount of monsters you can summon.
Yarn.
I gotta go because I'm baking for the kids.
Oh yeah, you're good. I gotta go cut my grass anyway. Peace. Hit me up later for rocket cars. Yeah, baby. What? I have a belt on. Shut up. fucking assholes in YouTube land ever fucking hit your funny bone on a doorway? That shit is more painful than breaking a finger for like 2 seconds, and then, you know, it goes away. Breaks don't, but, you know. Well, I mean, they mend, but they don't mend right. I digress. Hello? Is this Tommy Salami? Is this my Tommy Salami Bommy? YouTube, welcome. My most adorable offspring. Caleb is my most cantankerous and polite offspring. This is my most adorable offspring. I know cantankerous and polite, kind of an oxymoron, but... Bubba, I can't see. Can you stay sitting like that? Thank you. If you want to talk into the microphone, here it is. You can say, I'm Tommy. I'm Tommy, and I love me. Daddy. I love me, Daddy, and I love me, Mommy.
Hello.
Hello.
Grandma.
What about Grandma? You want to see your Grandma? You want to go see Grandma?
Yeah.
Okay, we can go see Grandma this week. Today's Tuesday. I'm sure Grandma would love some company. Umph Tribe 2003. So what you're telling me is you're a 20-something that you're a 20-something whose brain is not fully formed, so I am going to take advantage of you this game. Say no more. What, babe? I know. I'm going to take him to go see Grandma this week. It's 5. We'll make it. What's up, Caleb? You want to go see Grandma? Okay. Let me call Grandma, see what she's doing. Hello? What you doing?
Just relaxing at the moment.
You got any plans today, this afternoon?
No, I got all my stuff done this morning.
Well, the boys, both boys, Tommy in particular, was saying, I want Grandma, and then Caleb heard him and said, I want Grandma. So, if you would like some company this afternoon, Yeah, Angelica just screamed. Tommy said, "I want to see Grandma." So would you like some company this afternoon for like an hour or so? I got some running around I got to do, but we're gonna be on that end of town, so.
Sure.
Cool.
Okay. Hi guys. Hi guys. Hi. What's up, kitty booty? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're acting crazy.
How are you?
Say hi, Grandma. I'm good.
You gonna come see me? Tommy! What's up, cutie?
Goodbye.
What? Where you going?
He's looking at himself and not you.
Oh.
That's the problem with putting Tommy in front of the camera. He just stares at himself and doesn't pay attention to what else is going on.
Okay. Well, I'm here, so.
Well, I don't know what time we're gonna leave, because I'm not really done with doing what I want to do around the house yet, so we can't leave yet. But I was thinking after lunch. Bubba, please don't poke me in the eye with the fly swatter. Thank you. Yeah, put this back. Put the fly swatter back on the hook, bud. Little up. Good job. You know, Tommy's hand-eye coordination is getting really good. He put the fly swatter back on my coat rack. So, how you doing?
Fine. Chillaxing.
What you been up to? Just hanging out?
Just hanging out. I got, I won't be able to go this afternoon, will I? I got 2 boxes in my back of my car for the food bank.
Well, why don't you go do that this afternoon, and then we'll come over tomorrow, because I still got yard work I want to get done. And I'll be honest, I've been struggling with like telling myself to do it and then just not feeling like doing it. So like, me and the boys will come over tomorrow afternoon. How's that?
That's fine.
Cool.
Yeah, because I got a hair appointment at 4:30.
Tomorrow?
Yep.
Alright, we'll come over right after lunch then.
Okay, that'll work.
Alright?
Okay, bye-bye.
Love you, Ma.
Love you too.
Hey, Bubba, we're gonna go see Grandma tomorrow, because she's busy this afternoon. Okay? Yeah, you, me, and Tommy will go see Grandma tomorrow. Okay? Hey, Tommy, we're gonna go see Grandma tomorrow, because she's got plans this afternoon. Yeah, whatever. missing a lot of wristbands all bound in leather. Just missing a lot of wristbands all bound in leather.
You'll be okay.
I'm dying. I'm dying.
Some things can be brought up, some things can't. Limitations and evidence in English.
Your Honor, he's talking about his experience testifying. Overruled.
You'll be okay.
I'm dying.
Evidence. Some things can be brought up, some things can't. Your Honor, he's talking about limitations and evidence in English.
Your Honor, he's talking about his experience testifying. Overruled.
You'll be okay.
I'm dying. I'm dying.
Some things can be brought up, some things can't. Your Honor, limitations and evidence in English.
Your Honor, he's talking about his experience testifying. Overruled.
You'll be okay. Yes.
I'm dying.
Evidence.
I'm dying.
Evidence. Some things can be brought up, some things cannot. Limitations and evidence in English.
Your Honor, he's talking about his experience testifying. Overruled.
You'll be okay.
I'm dying.
Evidence. Some things can be brought up, some things can't. He's talking about limitations and evidence in English.
Your Honor, he's talking about his experience testifying. Overruled.
You'll be okay.
I'm dying.
Have you tried this yet? It's pretty cool. Go to Google.
I'm dying.
Evidence. Some things can be brought up, some things can't. Your Honor, he's talking about limitations and evidence in English.
Your Honor, he's talking about his experience testifying. Overruled.
You'll be okay.
I'm dying.
Evidence. Some
I'm dying.
Have you tried this yet? So wait, Jake.
So I just wanted to ask.
This is my girl.
Okay.
Have you tried this yet? It's pretty cool. Go Google, type in your first.
No, not me.
Have you tried this yet?
No, that's neither of yours. Put it back. Put it back. Good job. Thank you. That's not a toy. Hey, stop hitting. That dude just likes to look like a real racer. A street car that needs a parachute, I call shenanigans. That dude just likes to look like a real racer. Hey! Out! Out of the room! No, it's because they weren't paying attention to what they were doing and they were roughhousing. Hey, listen, guys, if you want to do stuff, baby, that when they do something wrong, do not correct me, correct them. That was wrong. They need to be cognizant of their surroundings. Daddy would not have yelled if you were paying attention. I love my kids, I love my kids, I love my kids, I love my kids, I love my kids. I love my kids. I love my kids. I love my kids. Alright, I'm happy. I went from irritable to happy in about 5 seconds. Seeing Tommy shuffle into his bedroom and going, ah! Paired with me saying, I love my kids, I love my kids, I love my kids. It worked. Oh, you guys might be annoying sometimes, but my God, I wouldn't be able to live without you anymore. Tommy. Tommy, come here. Give me a hug. Come here. Daddy's not mad, buddy. You just gotta listen, and you can't knock stuff over. Okay? When you're playing on Daddy's bed, you gotta be careful. I don't want you to knock over my coat rack, and I don't want you to knock over the vacuum. Okay? It's okay. Go play. Love you, Bubba. You piece of shit! Oh, now he's crying again. What is it now, boy? He is just all types of boo-boo. Boo-boo butt cheeks. Tommy, Mommy's gonna make you lunch, okay? It's me doing really bad hushed gutturals. Really bad. My vocals are lackluster. But someday, they will be mildly less lackluster. Bitches. Rusty Basilisk. Landfall Nissa is so good. Well, she's not so good, but she pretty good. She aight. I'd touch your butt. I would touch Nissa's butt. Alright, if I'm being honest, I would not just touch it. I would rim it. I would rim the shit out of it. Nissa looks like the kind of elf that is into some really kinky shit, and so am I. Oh, you got the little green dragon demon blade. The little greenie. Look like my boogers. Look like my boogies. Burn it, destroy it. Bye.
I need your height. Oh, Mullings is on part 4 of his Ghost of Tsushima playthrough.
Your concerns for my...
fuck you, Demon Blade, for being better than me, but this actually was a pretty good game. You pull mana really well. The fact that all of your creature cards are like straight up, like their power and toughness is contingent based off of how much mana you have. That's a pretty dope deck. I like that. I don't know what you call that, like mana spirit decks or some shit, but it's a dope deck. I like it.
The quality is...
A. I apologize to anybody watching my stream right now who just saw me pick my nose. You can go fuck yourself. Nose picking is a hobby and a sport, in my opinion. It's just as hard as golf, man. Well, at least the boogers are just as hard as golf. Getting them out is a lot easier, though, than getting them out of the sand trap. I'm just saying. I can't hit out of the sand trap to save my fucking life. What's up, Bubba? Did you just have lunch? What you want to do now? What you want to do? Give Daddy a big hug? Love you, bud.
What I want for supplementary is things that are like frozen on for
I know. Because you don't feel like putting together a week's worth of meal prepping. I can understand that completely. That's the one thing I hate about being an adult is meal prepping and thinking about what kind of food you're going to eat in the future. What a pointless thing to do. People that work out and nutrition specialists, your lives must revolve around food. Like, straight up a revolving door of nonstop fooding.
I get a good feeling about this play right here. Silver Wings. Let's see what you got. Using a Lifeline deck, I can already tell, because you got Paladin class and Ranger class at the same time. What? Go ahead and put down an Evolving Winds. We'll activate it. Go ahead and put a swamp down. Now, normally, what I'm about to do, I would not do, but I'm going to do it specifically because that fucking Paladin class is a piece of shit card, and I don't like it. I don't like it when they make me pay extra for spells that are fucking mine, so we're not going to play that game. And we are going to Scute Swarm early. I hope he murders this Scute Swarm, that way I can reclaim it later. Honestly, I do not intend for the Scute Swarm to survive more than 1 or 2 turns. I played it specifically to scare the shit out of him. Yo, Jim Beam Peach plus Orange Crush and Tropicana Tropical Fusion. Oh my god, it makes the best screwdriver in the world. That's what I like to see right there. Alright, so let's go ahead and just get rid of that fucking dragon first and foremost. And then we're going to go ahead and no attack. Go ahead and block that. Alright, give me 1 minute, baby. Put that one down. That'll summon a creature. And then we are going to... You know what? Fuck it. Let's reclaim. Let's reclaim. Hopefully he doesn't wipe the field with his singular card. I get the feeling that he knows what Scute Swarm does. No attacks.
Materials I need, and I would be honored to improve such a fine sword. You'll like the finish.
I'll see you again.
May your steel remain sharp and straight.
Crying won't change anything.
You got the armor.
It fits well.
It belonged to my eldest, Shigesato.
It is an honor. I spoke to the monk.
What did Sogen say?
You offers you refuge in the temple. Wipe the field right now.
So my family's killers know where to find me. We need to move.
It might behoove you to just fucking concede right now.
You think Sogen is behind the massacre?
He visited my home just before the assassins. The little bastard was their scout.
That doesn't prove his guilt.
No, but it earns my suspicion. Sogen arrived from Kamiagata at the beginning of autumn.
When we first heard the Mongols plan to invade.
The plot to destroy my clan took precision, planning,
and a war to cover the treachery.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3.
Where is that monk?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There's Sogen, leaving in a hurry.
Let's follow the wolf to his den.
11, 12, 13, 14.
We can get down
15,
here.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
You sent me to frighten the monk.
I knew he would panic, make a mistake. Now he's leading us to his friends.
Stay close. We can't be seen. Hide.
Did he see us?
I don't think so. He's moving again.
Let's go.
And this is why Skewed Swarm is overpowered as fuck.
Just deer.
No attacks. Good game.
Get out of sight.
Someone there?
I love the dragon emojis in this fucking game. Like, it makes getting the season pass and seeing what they do. Like, Wizards of the Coast, you guys are by far one of my favorite production companies as far as fantasy games goes. I fucking love Magic the Gathering.
Let's get closer.
And like all your card games have been fucking amazing. Like when you guys were doing Pokemon, my favorite shit in the entire world, man. Like your original Pokemon cards, amazing. All of these Magic cards since I started playing in 1999 up until now.
That must be who killed our men at the estate.
It's only gotten better as the years go on. I will say I do not like
You have to find them. Keep your voice
this
down.
whole phasing out of seasonal
dead.
card. I understand that that's what you need to do in order to maintain being a company and paying your vast amount of employees.
Come and fight.
One of which happens to be a good friend of mine from the military, but
This will make for a friend.
Like the fact that you guys have to phase out seasonal cards, I don't really care for that.
67. 67 damage. And if he decides to block any of this attack, that will be... Actually, no, I take that back. Let's summon another 200.
I'll put that sword to good use after you're dead.
76, 1/1 insect creature. Break the game down. So every time I play one of these land cards,
Send your best warrior. This will make for a grand. Looking for me?
Ferrocale.
Show me the mighty samurai.
Yave.
Dachi!
It's Yave. The way that they pronounce it is with a fucking H. No, it's pronounced. The colloquium is pronounced differently. No, you
I'll
just
put
got
that sword to good use after you're dead.
Hold up, man. Fuck.
Just a man like the rest of us.
Watch the video. Watch the video and look how
Stand and fight me!
Watch it. Look at it. I maintain I got over half.
Show me the mighty samurai skill. Show me your skill.
I love you too.
I'll put that sword to good use after you're dead.
Yeah, baby, I was just goofing around. I know, it's my favorite color. There's no reason why it's my favorite color.
Challenge me! Show me the mighty samurai skill.
I honestly, when I summon skewed spores, I don't even like to attack people with them. I just try and scope them into quitting because they don't want to watch me for 20 minutes summon, you know, a million versions of their speech. Like, the best part of using a skewed swarm deck is pretty much just trolling your opponents.
Are you cowards?
It's fucking great, man. I'm dubbing this deck that I created.
This will make for a grand story.
Other people play with, where they use like skewed as like an excuse just to summon creatures and then kill creatures and then revive them and bring them back and summon double. Instead of doing that, I just like to break the game and make people quit.
Face me! I'll put that sword to good Hey! This will make for a grand story.
Female anatomy was basically designed for tongue-punching fart boxes. So, oh. Get rid of Ren. Since we don't have a skewt yet, we don't necessarily needs it. We'll destroy that. We'll broker a land.
There's nowhere to run, Sogen.
You destroyed Clan Adachi.
I was only a messenger.
For who?
Knowledge does not end suffering.
You know
go to the
nothing
grocery store here in the next half an hour or so.
Masako.
I'm getting fucking
I
hungry.
buried my family.
We are needing a supplementary grocery for this week.
Days.
We went through all of our
But I'm going to leave
prep
you
pretty fucking quick.
for the wolves.
We need
now
him
all
alive.
we have left to eat is
Tell us who
ramen
he
and Chef
serves.
Boyardee, and
Our
I'm sorry,
world
the
has
kids might
changed.
enjoy that, but me and Angelica are
Men
older.
of vision must rise to
and
face it.
that just doesn't do it for me anymore.
And those in the way must be removed.
They were children!
Masako!
He was never going to talk.
We still need information. There has to be something we can use. Search outside. I'll deal with things in here.
Find me when you're done.
Spare weapons. They expected reinforcements. Names. And a symbol. Masako might know them.
Did you find anything?
A list of names. And a clan symbol.
I found the same symbol on these men. I've never seen it before.
A rival clan.
moving in to take control. We have to stop them.
I will.
You cannot do it alone. When my uncle hears of this, he will not rest until the traitors pay for what they did. Help me, and we will bring down everyone who hurt you.
Together. When you need help rescuing your uncle, I will be there.
Thank you, Lady Masako.
Until that time, I have work to do.
What's up, Gaia?
You're doing good.
Suffering, you know I like SpaghettiOs, especially Mario SpaghettiOs, because the kids freak out for it, but my adult taste buds can only take SpaghettiOs so much in a 2-week period before I want to blow my fucking brains out of boredom. My taste buds need a little bit of, like, you know, depth and, like, choice.
The Mongols are everywhere.
Eating 3 meals
in a fight
every other day,
like
are
wolves.
all red sauce and, like, noodle.
I need to find new methods to keep them at
like,
bay.
It's not fucking... It's why my arms are super fucking skinny, but my gut is starting to, like, hang out.
A well-balanced blade I
My
can throw.
diet is about
Catch
as
a foe by
balanced
surprise
as
and finish them
like
off.
an alligator trying to do a tightrope. Looks cool for about 1 second, and then yeah, then it's tragic. We'll go ahead and get Ren back, and then we will go ahead and put Jan Forest down. We will go ahead and we will sacrifice that toxic scorpion that we don't fucking need. And then we're going to go ahead and no attack. Garbage, 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 garbage. This will be his first good card if he has it. And he doesn't. Look, a whole bunch of shit I can kill. Look, even more shit I can kill. Except the Falconwrath Forebearer is kind of good. Falconarth. 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 Falconarth Forebearer. Let's go ahead and play Ren. Let's go ahead and green treefolk creature. Let's go ahead and Death Gap. And let's go ahead and skip. Ren for 2. Reen for 2. Reen for 2. For 2. Alright, I'm getting sick of listening to Ingested. I'm sorry, but slam death metal is only good for about a half an hour. And then it's like, hey, you know, let's do something else. Now it's Coheed and Cambria time. And I think we're going to listen to Love Murder 1. Oh, I won the game. Alright, take that back. I'm hungry. I'm going to go to Family Dollar or the grocery store, do a supplementary grocery, and then I'll come back. So, until later, YouTube. Dream of mother frickin' dearth. Peace.